Hi guys! Today I want to show you what I've made out of my Leuchtturm 1917 notebook. You may have heard at the end of my last video on my setup of my Filofax that I was going to try to turn this into a kind of secondary planner to my Filofax. And I also made a video on it which I deleted because I talked in the video about how I was going to set it up, and then when I tried to set it up I found that it wouldn't work the way I wanted it to, because it's when I use grid or squared paper for my week on 2 pages diary in my Filofax, I need 40 squares going down the page, and this is dot grid paper, but it only has 38 going down the page, and it just wouldn't work for me. I need 10 squares per day. So I deleted that video and now I'm making this one. So this is going to be like a notebook for my handbag, but it's kind of a planner as well. It's kind of hard to explain, but just stick with me and I'll explain. So this is a Leuchtturm 1917 notebook, which I absolutely love. It's a brilliant notebook. It's A5 size, which I love because Moleskine large books are smaller than A5. They're narrower, which means that I just feel a bit shortchanged by it, because I think it should be A5. So I know they aren't designed to be A5, but I do feel like they should just have that extra centimetre of width. This is A5 and it is brilliant because compared to a Filofax, compared to an A5 Filofax, it's brilliant. It's about the same dimensions. If you laid a personal Filofax on top, it's about the same dimensions as that, but you get the page width and page height of an A5, so you've got plenty of writing space, but it's so much smaller than an A5 Filofax, which I love. It's got the pink elastic and the pink bookmark, and it's pink. I love pink, but they also do loads of other colours, so that's where I think it's better than Moleskine as well, because Moleskines usually come in black and red. I know in America they've started making other colours, and we've just got purple over here in the UK, but I just love that Leuchtturm is available in so many other colours. I really like the lime green and the blue. Okay, so the first page is a notes and address bit, where you can put like contact me if I lose this type of thing, and then you've got the contents page. You've got a few of those where you can write what is on each page for ease of finding things, because each page has got a little page number in the bottom. I don't know if you can see that, it's not focusing very well. And then it's got really good quality paper. Okay, so that is what I've been using. Now I bought this about a year and a half ago, and I wanted to use it for something, just anything, because I try to use it as an academic planner. So I drew the month grids in, but I didn't actually use it, and so it's been sitting doing nothing for ages. So it's got all the month on 2 page grids for the whole of 2013, and I thought, it's July, I need to start using it for something, because when it gets to 2014 I won't want to use it because I've put 2013's month grids in it, so I've got to use it during 2013. So what I'm going to use it for, the month grid part, is I'm going to put in the months that have already gone important events, like when my cats have gone to the vets, or when my when anything important has happened, because I haven't been using a month grid in my Filofax, although I'm probably going to start using that, because I have printed out Lime Tree Fruits' one, but I just haven't started using that. So this is a good way of capturing past important events or appointments or anything. I've still got some things in there I need to Tipp-Ex out or cover up from my academic stuff. But then the current month I'm going to use as a kind of That's the current month. I've got my work shifts in here, and I have to backfill all the previous months. So I've got an overview of when I work to check against my pay slips to make sure I've been paid. And then in purple, anything important that's happened. And in blue, any all-day events like birthdays or something like that. So that's just a monthly overview, because my main use for this planner will be when I'm out and about, because I don't take my Filofax with me. So this is going to be for, oh, I know I've got an appointment at the doctor's, when is it? I can check that. And then the previous months will be for checking previous things. And then if I'm out and I find something that I want to write down for a specific date, or if I get an appointment when I'm out, I can write it in pencil in here, then transfer it to my Filofax and write it in pen in here later. Because I colour code, and I'm not going to bring all my coloured pens with me, so I'm just going to write it in pencil or in black pen if it's a fixed appointment, because I'm only going to bring a pencil and a black pen with me. So that's the kind of planning aspect. It's not really planning, it's more like just a simple diary. And then this is where it gets to the part that I like. After my month grids, I'm going to have, if I'm out and I'm using this when I'm actually out, I'm going to have just a piece of paper. This is probably about, well, it's not as small as A7, but it's about 3/4 of A6. I've just literally just cut a rectangle of paper out of some scrap paper. Just a quick overview of my day, because if I'm out in town and I go, I'm sure I've got to go home for something, I'm sure I'm supposed to be doing something later, and then I look at this, I can know that I'm babysitting, or that I've got, you know, something to do in the evening. Same as my to-dos, I've got to think, what was I meant to be doing later? And I don't want to think, oh, it's probably nothing, and then spend a couple more hours in town when I'm supposed to be at home preparing for something or doing something. So that's just fixed in here with washi tape, and I can tear it out and throw it away and put another one in the next time I go to town or go out and do something. So that's not going to be in here properly. I was going to put a week on 2 pages diary drawn into the pages, but I'm not doing that now. And then this is where I had some lists for my academic planning, and then so I've taken them out, and you can probably see there, that's where I've taken them out. So I've just stuck with some deco tape, just some pieces of paper in here for things that I won't be having in here a lot, or I mean things that I won't be fixing in here properly, like a shopping list. Once it's done, I can throw it away and start a new one. Also, I can tear a little bit of paper out here if I want to give anybody a piece of written information or something like that. So I've got 4 sheets of paper in there. And now earlier I was trying to experiment with this, so I started doing a kind of a day book, that's what I want to call it, where I write the date at the top of the page, and then I just write the notes for the day, anything like that. So here I've got just a few lines on what I want to use this Filofax for. I've got that this written down, and then I've got some information I want to write down and some more notes and things like that. That I've tried to make it work, and it doesn't work for me. It's written in one colour, and I much prefer to colour code, so this just looks like a jumbled mess of notes for me. Also, it doesn't have any organisation. So I just wanted to show you that before I take it out. I'm going to take it out with my craft knife, and I just wanted to show that won't work for me. I'm not going to be using that like this anymore. What I've done instead, so after my kind of month grids, my today events, my removable pages, what I'm having are lists and notes. Now this is the main purpose of this notebook. When I'm out, or even when I'm in the house, just to write down any notes. Now I've tried to have a notebook section in my Filofax, and it just doesn't work for me. I just find myself not writing in it at all. I am quite lazy in getting on with things, and so I have found myself, like, if I find something on the internet that I need to write down, I'd rather keep that tab on Google Chrome open for, you know, all day until I force myself to write down that 2-line piece of information. I'm just not writing things down. I'm not using my Filofax to its full potential because I'm just not writing down these random snippets of information. I used to have a pocket Moleskine in my bag, pocket Moleskine notebook, and I just used to write all those random pieces of information when I was at uni, and it worked so well. And when I was walking home, I used to flick through it, and it used to just keep things at the front of my mind. It used to be so easy to grab out of my bag and just write anything down. So that is the purpose of this section of the notebook, which is going to be what the rest of the notebook is for. Random information, random lists, any sort of notes that I need to put down on paper. So I've tried to do it on the daily way. So this would just be, I'd write as much as I need to for the day, draw a line under it, write tomorrow's date, and then start writing more. That I don't think would work for me. This I know will work for me because this is how I used to do it. I used to have 1 page per subject in my Moleskine. So what I've done with this one, the first page is types of lists or notes, and it's just the contents of the next pages. It's not going to be in order because when I've finished a page I will just put it as the next page, so it won't specifically be in order. But if I'm if I'm walking along and I'm thinking of something and I want to write it down, if I don't know which page to go on to write it on, I can look at this list and go, oh, it fits more into this section, so I can write it on that page. Or if it doesn't fit into any of these sections, then I can start a new page. So I've used washi tape to title each page just because I didn't want it all to be black writing on a white page. I wanted it to be pretty. So the sections I've got are notes for writing projects, notes for fountain pen stuff, craft stuff, Filofax stuff, and Egyptology stuff. They're just what I've thought up so far, and I will be adding more and more and more lists. So just as I'm randomly walking about to and from work, sorry, my cat's going mad now, she's running around, as I'm walking through town, as I'm just sitting downstairs, I'm just going to carry this everywhere with me, and when I think of any random thing I will write it down because I've really she's mad, she's gone mad. I've really got to get into the habit of actually writing things down, or else they will fall out of my brain so quickly. So I've got some double page spreads and some single page spreads. So I'm going to have anything to do with my writing projects on here, fountain pens on here, craft stuff on the right, Filofax stuff, Egyptology stuff, and then I will write any more lists. I'll just make them as I go along, and then I will probably at the end of every day, or if I'm bored, or if I'm just sitting downstairs quietly, you know, not really watching TV because my dad watches rubbish TV and I don't like what he watches, I'll flick through here and just read my notes. And I prefer this to actually filing them away in my Filofax where they should go to start with, because if I just write something down, it's then out of my brain and I don't have to think about it anymore. But if I write it in here and I'm constantly flicking through, then it's staying in my brain and I haven't filed it away yet. I will file it away later, but it means that it actually stays at the front of my brain. Then once I've written it into my Filofax, like into my crafts section or into my fountain pen section, I will highlight it with my highlighter and it is done, and I don't have to think about it anymore. And then anything on the page that isn't highlighted, I'll either put in the appropriate place or put in my diary if it's a to-do or anything like that. And it's really easy to then see what I haven't highlighted it, because if there's like 3 lines that aren't highlighted, it will stick out in my you know, on the page, and I will be able to see it and go, why haven't I written that down? Oh, because I'm waiting on this piece of information, or I'm not ready to write it down yet because I'm, you know, still thinking about it or something. Sorry, my camera cut me off. So I just wanted to tell you two more things. I've put these flags from this set in the front section so that when I write something in here that I know I have to transfer over to my Filofax as soon as possible, I will put one of the flags at the top of the page so that even when the notebook is closed, I can see it's there and I know I've got something to transfer over. So I can flick to the page, and for example, if I write an appointment on my month on 2 pages, I can know that there's something on the page that I have to transfer over and write it into my Filofax as soon as I'm able to. And then when I've finished, I'll take it off and I will stick it back on the front section here, just like that. Easy peasy. And the next thing is, I'm telling you about this pen that I'm using for all my writing in here. I'm not doing much colour coding, except for on my month and 2 pages, because I write my appointments in black, which I can use this pen for, all day events or occasions in light blue, and recording important things in purple. Other than that, I will only use pencil and this pen in here. And the reason I'm using this pen is because it's one of my favourite pens, because it is permanent and waterproof. It's the Uniball iMicro, and it's a brilliant pen. And so if I happen to spill water or something on the pages, which I've done in the past, or if I'm writing when it's drizzling rain outside, then I can be assured that my words won't get smudged. And also it means that because I'm going to be using a highlighter over my writing, I know that it won't smudge onto the highlighter, or the highlighter won't smudge it on the page. Because you know, if you use a very inky pen, the end of your highlighter goes really black, and you can see it's a bit dark there because it's got the black ink on the highlighter nib. And also it can smudge when you've got a wet highlighter over a wet ink that isn't permanent or waterproof. So this is permanent and waterproof. I love these pens, and I've got a fair few of them, so I don't really mind if I accidentally lose one. I'm going to be buying a Leuchtturm pen loop to stick here so I can stick my pen to it, and possibly another one so I can stick my pencil to it. So there you go, that is my notebook. I hope you enjoyed my video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.